guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Neha and I make videos related to books. Today I am back with part 3 of my bookshelf tour where I'm showing you all the books that sit here. So generally what I would characterize this shelf to be is my non-Indian, basically Western contemporary fiction. So books which are not really related to the subcontinent, specifically India, and are related to Western countries and are contemporary fiction. They go on shelf number 3. So because this is my favorite genre, one of my favorite genres, contemporary fiction is pretty much what I read on a regular basis. There are a lot of books on this shelf. There are so many books that this particular shelf is double stacked. So first I'm going to show you all the books that I've finished, which sit at the back, which form the second layer, and then I have a feeling this video will have to be split in 2 parts. So then there'll be a part 2 of the rest of my contemporary Western fiction, which are unread books which sit on the front, which are like the main display pieces, because I like to break up my books into what I've read and what I'm yet to read. So what I'm yet to read, I want it visible to me, and yeah, that's it. Let's quickly start because there are a lot and I want to get through them quickly. So talking about all the books which form part of the second layer of the bookshelf, these are all books that I've already finished and I've already covered them extensively in various videos of mine, so do check them out. So I'm not going to dwell too much on these books. I'm going to quickly show you the stacks and then we'll move on. So let's start. So stack number 1 are all of these books. Let's quickly go through them. I have 4 Winds by Kristen Hanna. I finished this I think a couple of years ago. I did enjoy it. I think Kristen Hanna is one of those authors who writes very readable fiction, and it's mostly historical fiction. So again, historical fiction is one of my favorite genres. Then I have Cloud Cuckoo Land by Anthony Doerr. I finished this last year. I enjoyed this as well. So this is historical plus science fiction almost, and I think I have a wrap-up video. I'll link my entire playlist of wrap-up videos up above if you want to check them out. Because I talk about all of these books in those wrap-up videos. So yeah. Then I have Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmo. I read this last year towards the end and I really actually did not enjoy this book as much as everybody else on the internet seems to. So yeah. Then I have Transcendent Kingdom by Yad Gyasi. I love this book. I think it's brilliantly written. But actually from this author, my favorite is Homegoing, which is also part of another stack. And I have Memorial by Brian Washington. I also read this last year and I did like it, but again I felt it was a little too draggy. So yeah, this is the first substack. So let's quickly place them and move on. I also have Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. This is a sci-fi dystopian time travel kind of a book and I did enjoy it. Actually, I love the author. I think she writes really atmospheric books and I love delving into her latest work, so to say. Then I have like smaller stack of books. I have The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. This is a mind-bending, headache-giving book, but I did enjoy it, and yeah, there's so many twists and turns that it makes for a good read. I have Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie's Purple Hibiscus. I read this at least 3 to 4 years ago, so I don't really remember too much of it, but it's also brilliantly written. I have The Remains of the Day by Kazuo Ishiguro. Love this book. It's so good. I love Ishiguro. And then I have Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tokarczuk. She is the winner of the Nobel Prize in Literature, and this is a translated book from, I want to say Swedish, but I'm not too sure. It's translated from Polish. Sorry. So yeah. And then I have Writers and Lovers by Lily King. I love this book. I think it's a brilliant romance book. One of those romance books which is romance without it being syrupy sweet. So highly recommend this. So yeah, that's the second substack, which will go here. Talking about the third set are these books. I have The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. This is a murder mystery thriller kind of a book, and I did like it, but kind of guessed what is going to happen, so I don't know. The Seven Moons of Mali Almeida. Love this. This is the winner of the Booker Prize and highly recommend it. This is a DNF actually, White Teeth by Zadie Smith. I was making good progress into this book, and as you can see I have the bookmark also at around the halfway point, but I just lost interest. I don't know, maybe I will get back to it, maybe I won't, I don't know, I'm not too sure. And then I have Diary of an Ordinary Woman by Margaret Foster. I finished this last year, and this is like a diary set in World War II of an ordinary woman in London, and yeah, very has its good points and its bad points. So moving on to this next set, I have Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. This is actually, I would say, her best book, and I loved reading this. I have What Are You Going Through by Sigrid Nunes. I have a reading blog for this, which I'll link up above if you want to check it out. I have The Promise by Damon Galgut. This is also the winner of the Booker in 2021, and I really like this. This is a family saga intergenerational tale set in South Africa. Secret History by Donna Tartt. Does this book really need any introduction? I also enjoyed it as much as many people did on the internet, so yeah. And then I have Outline by Rachel Cusk. I also have a reading blog for this, one of my first initial reading blogs, and I read this in Shimla in 2021. So yeah, a lot of good memories attached to this one as well. Then I have The Honjin Murders by Seisei Yokomizo. I was underwhelmed by this, not gonna lie. And then I have At Night All Blood is Black by David Diop, translated from French. And this is also the winner of the 21 Booker International. I talk about this in a recent wrap-up. I'll link it above. And then My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Otessa Moshfegh. Again, I covered this in my Jan wrap-up, which do check it out. And spoiler, I was underwhelmed by this book. So yeah, I would say this is set number 5. As you can see, there's no rhyme and reason for my stacks. They're just random because these are all books that I've already read, and they're just too many subsections of genres, so it's really not possible to group them all together. But anyway, let's talk about Less is Lost by Andrew Sean Greer. I just finished this and I really enjoyed it, but I'll talk about it in my February wrap-up. I read very few books in February, by the way, so I can spend some time on the books that I have read actually. Then I have Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. This is volume 1. This is the first graphic novel that I've ever read, so yeah. Then I have The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. Love this book. This is actually a Secret Santa gift. Though I've read this book before I got this particular edition. I think it's beautiful. Then I have Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. I've talked about this. I read this in Goa, so on vacation. So again, good memories. Then I have A Man Called Uwe by Frederick Bachman. I think this is one of my favorite books. One of the best feel-good books out there, and I read this at least 3 or 4 years ago, so yeah, before my booktube days for sure. I have A Long Petal of the Sea by Isabel Allende. I talked about this as well. I love Isabel Allende's historical books. Homegoing by Yagyasi. Like I was mentioning, this is this first debut book of Yagyasi, I think this is a debut. Or was that? Yeah, this is the debut, and I think it's brilliant. Such a brilliant writer. I can't wait for her to put out more books. I have The Vegetarian by Han Kang, and yeah, that is for this. And yeah, that's for this stack. Let's please. The last stack of books which form part of the second layer on the shelf are these ones. The Color Purple by Alice Walker. Love this book. I think I've talked about it also in some wrap-up. The Mothers by Britt Bennett. Amazing book. I could not stop reading this one. Again, I read this towards the end of 2021. So yeah. The Blue Sky by Toni Morrison. Toni Morrison is brilliant, and I will not hear a word against her. And again by Toni Morrison is Paradise. I think I prefer this one to The Blue Sky. I could not put this down, and it is so heartbreaking in all the wrong ways but the best ways as a reader. So yeah. Then I have On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Wong. Yeah, this is poetry. This is not a novel, this is poetry, and it is also heartbreaking and beautiful and just a wonderful, wonderful book. And I have Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. I've talked about this book extensively. Maggie O'Farrell is now on my auto-buy list thanks to this one, though I am regretting reading The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. I just lent it to somebody, so that's why you don't find it on the shelf. So yeah, that's the final stack of read books, which go over here. Close and personal view of the second layer of the third shelf. So this is stack 1, stack 2, stack 3. There's no rhyme and reason to this madness, honestly. It's just books that I've read, so that it's just like, you know, I'm making space for the books that I've not read in this genre, which fill up the front. So that'll be part of the next video. And yes, I think I'll stop this video here because otherwise it will be too long. So thank you so much for watching. If you're still around, please like, share, comment, subscribe. And I will see you next time with all my unread contemporary Western fiction books. Bye.